Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football. I'm Mark Goldbridge in what's got to be one of the weirdest Sundays we've had in the Premier League this season. And we're going to start off with a very contentious issue. And it's not to do with the top 5 race, which as you can see is really hotting up. We'll talk about that in a minute. Obviously Liverpool have drawn with Arsenal, but what is going on at Forest, and is Gary Neville right for the first time in a long time? Because basically at the end of the game against Leicester, 2-2, big blow for Forest, as you can see. An extra 2 points would have put them right in the race for Champions League football. Their owner walked on the pitch, seemed to have a bit of a debate, argument with Nuno, and then this is what Gary Neville had to say. Scandalous from that Forest owner. Nuno should go and negotiate his exit tonight with him. The Forest fans, players and manager do not deserve that. Now, I've seen this clip. The owner walking on a pitch is quite strange in itself, but he appears to me to be walking towards the referee, and then Nuno says no, and there's a bit of a debate there. But let's take it on what Gary's seen, and I don't think it's conclusive. You've got an owner on the pitch, not very happy about the result and showing passion, probably too far, to be fair. You got Gary Neville saying that that's unacceptable and the manager should quit. And yet Gary Neville is a Man United legend who knows that our owners barely even turn up for games, let alone walk on the pitch after a bad result. I mean, if the Glazers had walked on the pitch today and said to those players, you're an absolute joke, you're an absolute embarrassment, is Gary going to tweet, those players should be down in tools? Oh, they've already down tools, have they? I mean, there's a sense of hypocrisy there. I'm sort of working through this, and I've got to say, I don't actually believe it. I think in football we want entertainment. When Conte and Tuchel had that handshake, the worst thing the FA could have done was punish them, because we want that. We want the Keane Vieira moments. We want... Football is entertainment, and entertainment sometimes can be pantomime. And I think that seeing an owner walking on the pitch would, you know, if that happened with if Sir Jim Radcliffe walked on the pitch and was having a go at, you know, a couple of the players or the referee or having a debate with Amorim, it would be a talking point. You might not agree with it, but it would show a little bit of passion. I mean, I find it quite funny actually. So Gary Neville, who's punditry for the Liverpool-Arsenal game, has got time to tweet that. That really sticks in his claw. Fair play. You might back him. And yet he doesn't really tweet about Ineos or the Glazers anymore. And is that because he's part of the regeneration project and he's going to make a bit of money? Is he just given up? Is he not bothered? Has he just got it in for Forest? Because I would not have a problem with Sir Jim Radcliffe walking onto the pitch today and having a bit of a go about the players. I think the fans would love it. I think they absolutely love it. He's put 1.25 billion into the club. He owns 27% of it. He's seen Man United lose another game in the Premier League in front of 75,000 fans, and he walks on the pitch and says that's not good enough. I bloody love it. Actually, I'm sort of, you know, all right, I've been out, it's sunny, you know, I've had a couple of, you know what, but actually, I bloody love that. I'd actually love to see that. Instead of, at the end of the day, we've got to make decisions that, you know, make me money. And we can do that by sacking people. It's simple, really, Gary. I mean, look, he's tweeting about an owner of a football club being frustrated about his club dropping points at home in a game. And I don't know why he was frustrated, but he was frustrated. Maybe it was just because they dropped points at home. Spurs are taking all of their staff to Bilbao. Manchester United, let me read you this. This is what Man United are doing. I mean, maybe Gary could have tweeted about this. So Spurs are taking their staff to Bilbao for the final. Man United aren't doing that. Man United are having a little get-together in Manchester where the staff can bring up to 5 guests. I think it's up to 5 guests or something like that. However, you will get 2 drinks and 2 food tokens. However, your guests will need to pay for any food and drinks they have. So you can bring people with you. We won't pay for that. And you're not going to go to Bilbao as well. You can watch it on a big screen all together. I mean, you know, this is a club that's in debt, dividends, gonna knock Old Trafford down. And wherever you stand on all those things, you can't be tweeting about an owner going on the pitch being frustrated that his team hasn't won to get in the Champions League and then, you know, be sort of silent on what's going on with United. There is a sense of hypocrisy there. Now, look, some of you aren't going to agree with me. And that's fine. some of you, the reason I brought it in, I think it's an interesting point from Gary Neville. I read the tweet. I've seen the replies, 50-50. But I'll tell you what, and this is where I do stand, every single day of the week, I will take an owner that walks on the pitch and has a go at the manager and the players over owners who never turn up, bought by the club on debt, bleed it dry, knock Old Trafford down, which I still can't move past, and do sod all about 10 years of United gradually getting worse and worse and worse. If we're tweeting and getting angry about an owner walking on the pitch because they've bottled it, I'll take that every day of the week over what Man United have got, which is scandalous, criminal, and they should be going to prison for. So when I read that and I see, Gary saying scandalous from the Forest owner, if it's scandalous to walk on the pitch and be angry and frustrated because you've bottled Champions League football, what is it to take Manchester United, a club not in debt, into hundreds of millions of pounds of debt for 20 years, take us from champions to basically relegated because the relegation zone doesn't exist, so we're right near the bottom, sack half your workforce, knock Old Trafford down, raise ticket prices and present the worst Manchester United side in Premier League history. I know what's scandalous, and I don't think it's the owner of Forest walking on the pitch, to be honest. That's just my 2 pennies worth. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Into the Premier League weekend, Newcastle beating Chelsea, the top 5 race. You've got to say for Forest, it's difficult now. I think the top 5 race is just really, really interesting. I've got to say, I don't know where I'm going with this now, because for me, I was always saying, well, I think it would be Chelsea, Man City, Newcastle, Arsenal, Liverpool. And at the moment, excuse me, that's the beer. But Villa have got Spurs at home, win. Man United away, win. 69 points, I think, does it for Villa. Chelsea have got Man United at home, probably win. Forest away, probably win. 69 points would probably do it for Chelsea. Newcastle, well, they've got Arsenal, and I think Newcastle probably only need 3 points. Final game of the season, Everton, win, they'll do it. Man City, 65. They've got Bournemouth at home, win. And they've got Fulham away, maybe draw, 69 points. So we could end up in a situation where all, from 3rd to 6th, we could have 3rd to 6th, we could have all teams on 69 points. In which case it comes down to goal difference, and unfortunately Villa would miss out. Very exciting, very exciting. But I think Forest are out of it now. I mean, look, they need to beat Chelsea. And their second to last game is away to West Ham. I think it's not going to be quite there for them this season. But they will probably still get Conference League or Europa League, which, I mean, look, it's disappointing for them. They've been in the top. I think they were 3rd for most of the season. But, is that a lack of experience? I think Nuno's been, just quickly on Forest, by the way. I think Nuno's been found out. I don't think he's as good as people think he is. I think the style of football is quite strategic, and I think when you need to win games and you're the favourite, it becomes problematic. I think when you're the underdog, it works, and they'll never get relegated with him, and they'll probably always be mid-table, but they've over-exceeded this season. I think when they needed to win, they've fallen short, really, which is a shame for them. But I want Villa to get it, but they might be really unlucky. Even if they get 69 points, they might be unlucky. But I'm sure there'll be some twists and turns in that. As for the Arsenal-Liverpool game, I did the Man United game. I was totally fed up, and I just thought, you know what? I'd normally do Liverpool-Arsenal. I wanted to do Chelsea-Newcastle, but my lad was playing football, so I didn't get back in time. But I was going to do Arsenal against Liverpool, Liverpool against Arsenal. And then I watched the United game. The sun was shining. There was an opportunity to go and have a few beers in the sun and chill out with the family. And I just thought, you know what? It's been a long season, and that game doesn't mean anything. Arsenal are going to finish second. I want apologies. I said Arsenal would finish second. Remember when they were wobbling a week ago and everyone was like they might finish 5th? I said Arsenal would finish second. Can I just have... the thing is, you only get the credit when you say something negative and it gets proven right. When you say something positive, it never works. But I said Arsenal would finish second. It's a good point for them against Liverpool, and I thought it was a reasonable game from what I saw. But yeah, a bit of a weird weekend. let me know your thoughts. Look, I like what Gary Neville said. It's an opinion, and he's entitled to it. And I would love to have that proper conversation with him because I think it would be a good one. I'm not bothered about that. But what I'm saying is, I don't think I'm missing here. I don't think I am missing. And I think putting a tweet out like that is dangerous in the sense that you've got a lot to say about Man United. You stick your nose in about Forest and say it's scandalous. If it's scandalous for an owner to walk on a pitch and show passion, what is it for an owner to basically run the club into ground? And also, if you're not a Man United fan, the regeneration project of which Gary Neville is part of, that's not a Sir Jim Ratcliffe idea. There's a document from 2017 put forward by the Glazers to Trafford Council about this regeneration. Sir Jim's gobbing off about it in 2025, but it was the Glazers who put the idea forward. Sir Jim, you could say, is a puppet for it, and Gary is as well. So you're effectively a Glazer puppet. And if you're a Glazer puppet and they're pulling the strings, what's at the top of those strings? Owners who don't turn up for games, who put us into debt, who are going to knock Old Trafford down, who are sacking good working people of Manchester, who are raising ticket prices for hard-working fans. If it's scandalous for an owner to walk on the pitch, and I think this owner of Forest has also diluted some of his shares or bought shares to put more money into the club, how can he be scandalous when you look at what United owners have done? That's all I'm saying. I'm out. Thanks for watching. Speak to you on the next one.